Hi, my name is John Whitehead. I'm an executive and leadership coach. Welcome to this week's video blog post. This week, I wanted to talk a little bit about Tracom social style, which is a behavioral communications model that I use in my work. In fact, I use it as the foundational piece of my work because it's all about self-awareness. It's all about recognizing your own personal communication style, how we communicate with one another, but more importantly, at the initial stage, what our own personal communication style is, what our preferred way of communicating is. And if you're familiar with DISC, it's very similar to DISC with the 4 quadrants, and where DISC is the D, I, S, and C. The social style is driver, expressive, amiable, and analytical. One of the things that I teach my clients is some very quick cues to figure out what style a person might be, whether they're a driver, whether an expressive style, whether they're an amiable style, whether an analytical style. And one of those is to walk into their office and see what's in their office. And that's why I'm standing here today, because over my shoulder are my certificates and my awards. When I was in sales and sales roles, I used to have all my sales plaques up on the wall with my sales awards, salesperson of the year, division manager of the year, and those things, because that is very much, I guess I'm the poster boy for the expressive style, because the expressive person is really interested in personal recognition. He wants the pats on the back. He wants people to recognize him. In terms of birds, because I use birds as imagery for the different styles, the expressive is a peacock, because it's, look, here I am, I'm right here, notice me, I'm front of center. That's very much an expressive thing. One of the problems with a person who is an expressive style is they find it very, very difficult to confront other people or to challenge other people, or if they're managers or leaders, which is what happens in my work, I'm working with leaders, is to have difficult conversations with people. Why? Because they don't want to be disliked. They don't want the other person not to like them. So in my coaching world, there are some processes and ways around that I take my clients so that they can manage that, so they can shift their behavior, so it's not much of an issue. But one way, if they're walking, I'm talking to clients, I say, if you're walking into a business office, a client's office, a customer's office, take a look around the room. If they've got a lot of certificates, a lot of plaques of their awards on the wall, they're probably an expressive. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to talk about the other 3 styles a little bit, but today I wanted to focus on the expressive. Why? Because that's me. The other thing about an expressive you'll notice is when they're under stress, they have a tendency to attack. And what I mean by that is they'll say stuff will come out of their mouth without thinking. They're very quick to judge sometimes. They're very impulsive. I had somebody in one of my workshops once when I was asking them, okay, what do you do when you're under stress? Because they were kind of questioning where they fit in the social style model. And she said, well, I get a bit pissy. And I said, that's it, you nailed it. That you kind of, you get a little pissy, you say stuff, maybe you didn't really mean it, but it's just a way of quickly to get back at somebody. So it's that attack mode. So that's another aspect of the expressive personality. And as I said, they tend to be impulsive. In fact, I had a boss once said to me, John, one of your problems is that you ready, shoot, aim. You ready, shoot, aim, because you run off and do stuff without really checking all the facts and information. I joke that I go to IKEA, bring home the furniture and start putting it together without reading the instructions. And when I have a bit left over, oh yeah, maybe I should read the instructions. So that's a little bit about the expressive style. And as I said, over the next few weeks, I'll talk about some of the other styles. So I hope you have a great week. Thank you for connecting with me, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.